Be ready after 10 seconds, 5 seconds, start. Dr. Kalam belonged to that rare category of statesmen like personalities who bothered neither about pelf nor power and always occupied the high office with humility. He was a creative leader who walked an unexplored path of developmental policies. He took everyone associated with him and utilized their core competence, intellect, and creative minds from all disciplines to realize the vision. He always used to see that the ignited minds of the youth were bubbling with the spirit of "I can do it" and the belief that India will become a developed nation. This feeling and spirit continue to inspire the youth of India who always see Dr. Kalam as a motivator. Only a fortnight ago, we celebrated the 70th anniversary of the country's independence. Now, we are celebrating 75 years of Quit India movement. Although we can take reasonable pride in the progress made during the past 7 decades in various fields from agriculture to science and technology, the questions that need to be asked is whether we could have done better. What is the real potential of India? Have we tapped the full potential of India? Focus should be on creating wealth, innovative, unleashing the force of growth. This is the area where the mindset of the people of the country has to be changed. Being constructive will be the befitting tribute we make to the great son of the soil, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. The parliament, the legislatures, and other bodies also should function effectively to get best out of every individual and then have a collective determination to take the country forward and make good laws, good legislations. Terrorism is a big menace to the society. Terror has no religion. Unfortunately, some people are connecting terrorism to some religion. No religion supports terrorism. No religion preaches terror and no religion accepts terrorism. These questions must trouble the conscience of every Indian who wants to see a prosperous and thriving new India where nothing but excellence should be the hallmark in every field, be it education, healthcare, or governance. Yes, we can create an India envisaged by the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, Dr. V.R. Ambedkar, Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay, and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who nobody faces determination of any kind, where there is no urban rural divide, where the farmer is prosperous, where women are respected and compete on equal terms with men in every sphere, and where the last poor man in the line is unlifted. With the India's GDP growth averaging close to 7% in the last decade and in excess of an average of 7.1% in the last 3 years, the strong economic growth has led to an almost threefold increase in disposable income levels in the country as against the global average of 6.2%. the penetration rate of Indian insurance sector in 3.39%, there is huge potential for growth and the future looks bright due to growing middle class, rise in disposable incomes and greater awareness for insurance coverage. The rise in disposable incomes has correspondingly been associated with a growth in overall households savings, and this has resulted in an increasing demand for financial products and risk management solutions such as insurance. As per Moody's Investors Service, the latest regulatory reforms in India have improved the ability of Indian primary insurers to take advantage of the country's strong economic growth. As per their report published in November 2017, regulations introduced since 2015 have facilitated the access of the insurers to capital and insurance cover while encouraging them to improve the quality of their investment assets and reserve adequacy. These developments will gradually allow Indian insurers to reap greater benefits from India's strong economic expansion and to increase take up of insurance from current low levels. Of course, the increase in coverage can happen only when insurers come out with products which are relevant to the middle and lower income groups. For this to happen, the products have to be low cost and simple enough to be understood by large segments of population and easily available across the country. I am glad to note that insurance sector in India has contributed immensely to the economic development of the country. The investments made by the insurance companies amounted to rupees 30 lakh 76,537 crores by the end of 2016-17, of which over rupees 2 lakh 40,000 crores was in infrastructure. The insurance companies have also made significant investments in long term developmental projects and have thereby effectively contributed to the nation building process. It should be noted that the insurance industry recorded a significant growth in the past few decades. It is expected to grow to $280 billion by 2020 as the country is poised for higher economic growth. The insurance market increased from $23 billion in 2005 to $84.72 billion in financial year 2017. Increase in FDI and the government's schemes to provide insurance cover to people, including those to farmers, have spurred the industry by increasing